In the annals of military history, few names resonate with the same weight as Audie Murphy. He was a small-town Texas boy, barely 5.5 feet tall, who enlisted in the Army underage after being rejected by the Marines and the paratroopers. But what he lacked in stature, he more than made up for in sheer, unadulterated courage. This is the story of the man who became an American legend, a hero forged in the crucible of the world's greatest conflict. Audie Murphy's journey into legend began in the European theater of World War II. Thrown into the chaos and brutality of combat, he participated in some of the war's most grueling campaigns, from the bitter fighting in Sicily and the brutal slog up the Italian peninsula to the violent clashes during the liberation of France. Murphy wasn't just present. He was at the very tip of the spear. With each battle, his reputation grew. He possessed an innate tactical awareness and a coolness under fire that defied his youth and experience. He quickly rose through the ranks, not because of ambition, but because of his relentless effectiveness and his unwavering commitment to the men fighting alongside him. He was a natural leader, earning the respect of his soldiers by leading from the front, sharing their dangers and hardships every step of the way. The defining moment of Audie Murphy's military career, the act that would cement his place in history, occurred in the Colmar Pocket in France. On a freezing January day in 1945, his unit, Company B, was under a ferocious assault by 6 German tanks and waves of infantry. With his company being overrun and his men falling back, Murphy ordered them to retreat to a safer position in the woods while he stayed behind to direct artillery fire. What he did next was the stuff of legend. Alone, exposed, and with the enemy closing in, he climbed onto a burning M10 tank destroyer, which was fully loaded with fuel and ammunition and could have exploded at any moment. He swung its 50 caliber machine gun around and single-handedly held off an entire company of German soldiers for over an hour. He was a one-man army, a solitary figure unleashing a storm of lead against overwhelming odds. Wounded in the leg, he fought on, cutting down enemy soldiers who dared to approach, even as German artillery and small arms fire peppered the burning tank around him. Only when he ran out of ammunition did he finally limp back to his company, refusing medical evacuation. He then organized a counterattack that successfully drove the enemy back. For this single act of unimaginable bravery, Audie Murphy was awarded the Medal of Honor. The nation's highest award for valor, his heroism didn't just earn him the Medal of Honor. By the end of the war, Audie Murphy had received every single combat award for valor the U.S. Army could bestow, plus several awards from France and Belgium. In total, he amassed over 30 military decorations, including the Distinguished Service, Cross, 2 Silver Stars, and 3 Purple Hearts. He was, without question, the most decorated American soldier of World War II. At just 21 years old, he returned home a national hero, his face gracing the cover of Life magazine. He was the embodiment of the quiet, determined spirit that had carried America to victory. But the war was not something Audie Murphy could simply leave behind on the battlefields of Europe. Like millions of other veterans, he carried the invisible scars of combat. He suffered from what we now call post-traumatic stress, or PTSD, in the 1940s and 50s. This condition was poorly understood, often dismissed as shell shock or battle fatigue. He struggled with insomnia, nightmares, and depression, the ghosts of the war haunting his waking and sleeping hours. But in this new, personal battle, Murphy once again showed his immense courage. He became one of the first public figures to speak openly about his mental health struggles, breaking the silence and stigma surrounding the psychological toll of war. He advocated for the government to provide more research and better care for returning veterans, using his fame to shine a light on an issue that had been hidden in the shadows for too long. Hollywood soon came calling, seeing in the young war hero a charismatic and bankable star. Though initially hesitant, Murphy embarked on a new career as an actor, appearing in over 40 films, mostly westerns. He brought a quiet authenticity to his roles, often playing characters who, like him, were men of action with a deep sense of honor. His most famous film was the 1955 classic, To Hell and Back, based on his own autobiography. In a unique and emotionally challenging move, he portrayed himself, reliving some of his most harrowing combat experiences for the big screen. The film was a massive success, becoming Universal Studios' highest-grossing movie for 2 decades. Through his films, Audie Murphy introduced his story to a new generation, becoming a symbol of American resilience and patriotism for millions. Beyond the battlefield heroics and the Hollywood glamour, Audie Murphy was a complex man. He was a poet, a songwriter, a devoted family man, but also a person who never fully escaped the war that had defined him. He was a living reminder that the price of freedom is often paid long after the guns fall silent. His life was a testament to the idea that true heroism is just about single acts of bravery in the face of physical danger. It's also about the quiet courage to face one's own demons, to fight for others even when your own battles are far from over, and to maintain your humanity in the face of unimaginable hardship. On May 28, 1971, the world lost this incredible man when his private plane crashed in the mountains of Virginia. He was just 45 years old. Audie Murphy was buried with full military honors at Arlington National Cemetery, where his grave is one of the most visited sites, second only to that of President John F. Kennedy. His legacy endures, not just in medals and movies, but in the hearts of all who value courage, sacrifice, and an unwavering dedication to one's country. Audie Murphy's story is more than just a piece of history. It's a powerful lesson. It teaches us that heroes can come from the most humble of beginnings, and that the strength of the human spirit can overcome the most daunting of odds. He was an ordinary man who, when called upon, did extraordinary things. His life is a permanent monument to the bravery of an entire generation. We must never forget heroes like Audie Murphy. By sharing their stories, we keep their spirit alive and honor the sacrifices they made for the freedoms we enjoy today. Thank you for watching. If you were inspired by Audie Murphy's story, please like this video, share it with others, and subscribe for more content about the remarkable figures who have shaped our world. Let's ensure that true heroes are never forgotten.